Good morning, Wichita. I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to say this morning. It's one of those mornings. Welcome. You are in the zone this morning on the 8th of July. It's a Wednesday. It's a hump day, and I'm already lost. I'm Phil Stevenson. That's James Guerin. Good morning, James.
Morning, Phil.
You're listening to 1410 AM, 93.9 FM, KGSO. We can also tune in on the KGSO Facebook page with Facebook Live. Leave questions or comments as you would like to do so. You can also pick up the stream on kgso.com or listen to us on the app at SC Wichita. However, whenever, whoever, we want you to be a part of the show at 316-522-1410. Late night last night, James. Very late night. Cannons give up a 5-run lead in the 7th inning and end up losing 8-7 last night to the Hayesville Aviators. That might have been the final nail in the coffin for us. I don't know. We've got 8 games starting. Well, we play tomorrow, but we have non-league game. And then we have 8 games left in 8 days. And I lost 2 more pitchers yesterday.
Phil, how do you still have pitchers to lose? That's kind of my question.
I don't know. I get guys joining us, and then I have guys leaving. So,
how come you guys can't require them to play for X amount of games? Would they not agree to that?
It's some of it is coaches shutting kids down. Some of it is kids deciding they don't want to pitch anymore for the summer. I don't know. I don't have answers, and I don't know how we're going to finish the final week of the season with 7 pitchers at this point. I don't want to get anybody hurt. I don't want to throw position players, but I may have to. I've had to do it this year more than any other year. And it's frustrating. We have an all-star game on Saturday, and we have teams that won't let their pitchers pitch in the all-star game. We might have position players throwing in that.
That's a little understandable.
But it's 1 inning. All my guys, 2 of my guys that are going to pitch in the All-Star game pitched last night. And I have one other guy that's going to pitch in the All-Star game, and he's going to start the game on Thursday, tomorrow, pitch 1 inning. He'll come back on Saturday to throw in the All-Star game. It is what it is, I guess, at this point in time. But that's where we are. All right. 522-1410 is the phone number if you want to jump in somewhere. We'll have the Diamond Highlight Zone at the end of this first hour. But as we have done throughout the last 3 weeks and continuing on for the next week and a half, the World Cup being played here in North America, and 2 intriguing games yesterday. Argentina and Egypt, Switzerland and Colombia, and our in-house expert of World Cup soccer, Mr. James Guerin, is going to give us a full rundown. As in the first game yesterday, Argentina comes from 2-0 down to win 3-2. And in the second game, Switzerland wins on penalty kicks in a 0-0 match. I guess that's the best way I can describe it. James, you have the floor.
Well, I was pretty on point with the Switzerland-Colombia game. I said I would not be shocked if this was 1-1 or 0-0. And
You did say that.
It was a very boring game, if I'll be honest.
Okay.
It was a very hard game to watch. For some reason, Colombia always has this issue where they know they're the better team. Historically, in-house, whatever the case may be. They've always been pretty competitive. They're no slouch. They should have easily have won this game, no questions asked. I mean, it was a little shocking that they could not convert. But they only had 3 shots on goal. Switzerland only had 2 shots on goal. There just wasn't a whole lot of offensive movement, right? The defenses were both very good. Let me highlight that. We always want to highlight the defenses because those guys don't get love. We go unnoticed, right? Because we're not in the box score. We're not stuffing the stat sheet, right? So we go a little unnoticed sometimes. But I'm gonna give my flowers to both of these defenses for not allowing really any shots. Yeah, a couple of saves from both sides. It was a very chippy game. A lot of little fouls from start to finish. Not a whole lot of cards from what I remember. Let me see if that has the total in here. I do not currently see that. I'll find it eventually. But
okay.
It was a pretty even game. Colombia did have a chance late in the game that did get saved, which obviously would have put them through. But, when we get into extra time, guys are so tired out there. I mean, they're not what they were when the game first started. So play gets a little bit sloppier. So chances even become less in extra time because guys are tired. They're not running the ball with the same force that they were maybe even 60 minutes prior to the extra time. So, I not a whole lot to break down between this game, but the penalties, I will touch on the penalties a little bit. We still have guys completely missing the goal. Just not even hitting the ball.
On penalty kicks?
Yeah, just completely missing the frame entirely.
That's a big frame. How big is the goal?
Oh, I don't know the exact dimensions.
Oh, come on. You're defending it your whole life?
We don't care how big it is, Phil. We just know how big it is. Like, do you know how big the plate is? The home plate?
Yeah.
The dimensions?
Yeah.
Every edge?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. I do.
All right.
I have a better idea sometimes of ball strike calls than the umpire does, who's standing right behind the thing.
Sounds like a former player.
Last night.
But there were 3 penalties in this game. That 2 of them hit the crossbar. One of them was just off. And the nerves, they always come down in this moment too. And Switzerland, you could tell in the extra time that they were playing for penalties because they knew. They fall into that category of we're the less skilled team. We're going to try and just win this thing in penalties. And so they turned very defensively in Colombia. They were pushing, but they couldn't get one in. So hats off to the defense. Colombia did have 15 total shots, but only 3 of them were on target. So that conversion rate, not great at all, but they did have 4 shots blocked of their own. They had 9 attempts inside of the box. So they were getting their chances. They just couldn't capitalize. So I wish I could make this game sound a little bit more exciting. But they're really from a casual standpoint, it's kind of hard to bring life to this game. But the penalties obviously were as exciting as they ever were.
4-3 in penalty kicks. And apparently Switzerland had the last kick.
Yeah.
And some guy, R. Vargas, makes it from Switzerland. And there you have it. It's over. Switzerland advances.
There were 5 total cards. There we go. I found it.
Okay, you found it. All right. In a 0-0 game, The highlight being the penalty kicks. All right. Game one of the day, I watched a little bit of the tail end of this. I got there to watch right as Messi scored to tie the game in the 83rd minute. And then Argentina scored in stoppage time and ends up winning 3-2, but a lot of controversy in this game, including a disallowed goal for Egypt and a penalty in the Argentina defensive end in the box that was not called, that I'm guessing should have been and would have been a penalty kick, or not a penalty kick, but a free kick.
You're talking about the foul on Egypt late in the game.
The foul by Argentina on Egypt. Yes.
Right. I did see that. It was very touchy, but I will say, if you're going to rely on VAR to overturn a call just 20 minutes before that, then you have to keep it consistent. You can't just pick and choose when VAR comes into play. And I know on goals, that always comes into play.
Right.
But on that play, for some reason, they decided not to check with VAR to see if it was a foul. Did it surprise me? No. It really didn't surprise me, knowing the history behind Argentina, right? I don't want to get too negative, and I don't want to sound like I'm a hater, but facts are facts, and we have to be open to that. They have had not a lot, but they've had some controversy over the years with them, and this is now adding to it. Because this foul had occurred, I know we're talking about a different foul here, but the one that I'm talking about, the overturn of the goal,
right?
The foul had happened in their very corner of their own defensive end. So they were on their side of the field. They took the ball away from Argentina, and that counterattack is what led to that goal. But when VAR reviewed it, they had saw that an Egypt player had stepped very momentarily, very briefly, had stepped on the Argentinian player's foot. Half a second, much less than what Balogun did. I mean, this isn't even comparable. But he stepped on his foot, and that allowed him to gain possession and allowed him to forward and move progress with the ball. Well, they score. They're up 2-0. And then VAR comes back and says, wait, we see something. We're going to check for it. And sure enough, they checked at it. And it was like, I want to say it was at least 20 seconds before the goal was actually scored that this foul occurred. And I understand that VAR is supposed to fix human error. Like, we want to get the calls right. But it's kind of like, and I know soccer does carry advantage, right? If a foul does occur, but you don't lose possession and you're still going, I'm going to let you play on because you still have the ball. And they have to do that in soccer. But when you have to wait that much of a difference between when a foul occurred and when the goal was actually scored, we're getting away from human error at that point. We're focusing on different things. And so that was a big letdown for Egypt. They eventually did get one more in anyway,
right,
which at that point it should have been 3-0. All hope would have been lost. There would have been no way down 3 that Argentina would have came back and won. But they were up 2, and so whatever. What happens for the rest of the game, we have to make sure we lock down and not give up, not be complacent. We're up 2 goals. I mean, but let's not take our foot off the gas pedal here. And that's what they did. They turned into, let's play not to lose. And a lot of watching.
Prevent the win defense?
Prevent the win defense. A lot of watching, Phil. I'm going to personally call out this one defender for Egypt because I saw him on a couple of plays. Let's see. I'm going to say it's Yasser Ibrahim. He's number 2. He's their center back. And on 2 of those goals, I'm not going to criticize him too much on the second goal because that there really wasn't a whole lot you could do. It was ping-ponging around, and it just happened to land in the foot of Messi, and he just volleyed it in. That, you can't really do much about that. But that first goal where they were crossing it into the box, Ibrahim was with his defender, with the Argentina attacker, man-to-man with him. He was marking him. As soon as the ball was kicked, Phil, you want to know what Ibrahim did? He had cement in his feet, and he just stood there and did not follow the ball and did not follow the attacker either. Romero was the one who scored it. He just stopped following him and just kind of let him run into the box and maybe thought that the ball wasn't going to get the dude. You got to mark your guy. You got to play on him. That you're in the 80th minute practically. You got to be physical, dude. You cannot be a sitting duck in that situation and just let guys run by you or run away from you because they're going to capitalize on it. Good teams will take advantage of the slack. And the Egyptian defense, lots of slack in the final 10 minutes of that game. They should have changed formations. They should have changed it entirely to a 5-back. They should have done something because they knew that Argentina was done. They were going home. And that, I think, was circling through their minds like, holy crap, we're actually going to win this thing. And then, boom, in a blink of an eye, they give up another goal.
Yep.
Like I said, when do the goals get scored most? Right after one just gets scored. And that happened 4 minutes later to tie the game. And then, after that second goal was scored, you're thinking, okay, maybe Egypt is going to wake up a little bit. Hey, it's a game now. Let's wake up. No, they didn't change anything once again. They were very stagnant.
Well, watching the sidelines, it seemed like the coaches for Egypt were more interested in yelling at the official than they were in coaching their team.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to go down that road. But I do know that he was visibly frustrated with the referees yesterday. And that's a whole different talking point in its own self. But I'm not one to ever say, oh, VAR is the reason that a team won. But it's making it very hard for me in this game to not say that because of what happened, especially in that VAR overturn.
Why is VAR allowed to you don't have replay except, I guess, for basketball where they can change a foul with replay. But you don't call penalties or take away a penalty in football, regular football, American football, with replay. Why would they do that in soccer? What's the purpose behind it? I understand the offsides or something like that, but why are they looking at replay for calling penalties or not calling penalties?
It's supposed to pick up things that the ref on the field doesn't see. Like they got one referee covering 120 plus yards. Well, he's got his two little ARs on the side.
Yeah, but they don't call penalties.
If they see a foul, absolutely, yeah,
they do.
Mm-hmm. They're not just there for offside. Because sometimes if the ball's in the corner, they'll be right there in the action. If a foul happens, flag up, because the referee, 30 yards away or whatever, he may not see it, but that guy, the AR on the sideline, he's right there. Yeah, he can absolutely call a foul.
I didn't know that. See, I learned something else today. How about that?
But now we're running into this problem where VAR is it's taking away from the flow of the game, and there's many fans outside of Egypt that are frustrated with this because it doesn't make the game feel natural by any measure. It doesn't make it feel natural because back 20 years ago you could be offsides by a hand and it may not get picked up. And teams capitalized off of that. But now we got new technology, better technology to help regulate these. And, it's a double-edged sword.
Okay, let me ask you this. Because I don't know, and I'm going to ask this question. What, on offside calls, and you've talked about what it could be a hand, it could be whatever, but they're looking at feet or legs,
parts of your body that you're legally allowed to use.
Okay, so hands, arms, not really. They're not.
I think it cuts off at the shoulder.
Okay, So is it possible would a rule change be good if a guy has any part of his body that is considered behind the defender, that's not offsides?
Are you talking about like instead of the furthest part behind? You're talking about
like
the
you do in
closest
hockey.
point. You're
If you
talking about the
toe
closest-
drag,
right.
you toe drag and keep your foot on the blue line or behind it when the puck enters the zone, you're not offside.
even though most of your body's over it.
Right.
I have thought about this, and I want to say I think there was the rule proposal that was going to talk about that, because that would open it up a little bit more, and that would have more goals, in my opinion, because there's not really that much of an advantage for the attacker if he's still partially behind, or I guess in this case in front of the defender.
Right.
So maybe that would be something that could be brought up and challenged, but traditionalists wouldn't like that.
No, I know. Let's go check in on the Maximum Outdoor Equipment Hotline. Welcome. You're in the zone.
Hey, Phil.
Good morning.
Hope you can hear me well. I got these C5 below earbuds in when I'm at work with nothing to do. Now, so I didn't want to give Phil a call and give him a hard time.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man, he hung up.
Yeah, well, I don't think he hung up. I think maybe he had to hang up. Maybe that was, I don't know. I'm going to put that line back on hold again. There we go. And maybe we'll get him back on a better connection there. So I just often wondered about that. If the offensive player had some part of his body equal or behind the defender.
Okay, yeah, this is the offside rule that was proposed by FIFA's chief of global football development. He said that offside should be when an attacking player let me restart. An attacking player is only offside if their entire body has fully passed the second to last defender,
Right.
which is what you're talking about.
Right.
The entire body needs to be
And
behind
that
it.
got voted down, I'm guessing.
Well, it hasn't been finalized.
Oh, okay.
It's just a proposal.
I understand traditionalists, but games evolve and change. And goals in soccer are always at a premium. Would you agree with that statement? That because there's not very many of them ever scored.
Goals.
Right.
Yeah.
They're at a premium. Would it make the game more interesting to more fans if that proposal were to go through that gives the offense a little bit more opportunity to score?
Well, this is where I put on my soccer hat.
Okay. I'm playing along.
If scoring goals is going to attract you to watch soccer, then maybe it's just not for you.
I raised my hand.
That's pretty much all I got to say about that. Because,
I
mean, you have to, I've preached this for the last couple of weeks, you got to understand soccer to truly enjoy it. And that goes with any sport. If I understood cricket, would I like it a little bit more? Yeah, maybe I would. But
it's interesting. They can hit the ball backwards in cricket. But you're trying to play it to where there's less defenders.
Yeah.
With that. And anyway, but you're right. You're probably right. And that's one of the things that I guess I understand about soccer. You got to go. I know that. So I'm going to let you leave, and I'm going to go ahead and take the phone call. And then we'll take a break. Welcome. You're in the zone.
All right, hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Okay, Anthony, what's up?
That's what happened when you had the cheap earbuds. When they got out of them. But I want to ask you about a particular play. I sent you a video a few weeks ago. And there was like one comment, and I had to defend my buddy Phil and put in the plug and let them know that he's now hosting a radio show. And I gave him a radio show, KGSO. And they said that play should have been banned. But it was during your playing days at Wichita State.
Right.
In the College World Series game.
Right.
And when I say it was against Miami, I'm pretty sure that would jog your memory.
No, I obviously I know what play you're talking about. Today, that would be a balk. That would be called a balk. Today, I've
seen that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I've seen that play. I've seen that play. I said, I just talked to Phil and talking about that. And what was his reaction? Because the pitcher faked wild throw towards first base, and they sold it. They was hollering, ball, ball, ball. And you got caught in the rundown, and they showed your brother Gene's reaction to it. And like I said, a lady on that comment said that play should be banned. And I'm like, wait a minute, I know this guy. This is Phil. This is celebrity Phil Stevenson, host of In the Zone on KGSO. So I need to call and talk to Phil about this and get your reaction in the moment when it happens.
Well, you know, the whole play was set up. They had practiced it. They actually put their bat girls down in the bullpen and replaced the local ball boys that were down there and told them to go into the dugout because it was all a big charade to pull the whole play off. Well, you know, it had to be the right time of day. It was the last time a player coached first base at Wichita State. Brian Elkers was the first base coach, and he didn't see that there was no ball thrown, and he wasn't saying anything. And I looked up, and I made the cardinal mistake of not finding the baseball before taking off. But, you know, when you look at the bullpen and you see the first baseman dive over you and you see him taking off running and you see everybody in the bullpen scattering, sometimes your natural reaction is to go. And I did. And pitcher still had the ball. Today, that play is a balk if you try to do that today. It's just like the third to first move that they've now outlawed in baseball. Don Heinkel was unbelievable at this play. So was Greg Brummett at being able to make that fake to third with the runners at first and third and get the runner from first to look home to follow the pitch and get picked off at first base. That's now a balk. And so many rules have changed from over the years, but you know, if I had money coming in, royalties from ESPN, how many times they've run that play over the last 40 some years, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I'd be sitting on a beach somewhere in Aruba. How about that?
And I would probably find you and join you on that beach.
There you go.
Get away from all the bad.
There you go.
Anyway, that's all I wanted.
All right, Anthony, I got to take a break. I appreciate the call, my friend.
All right.
Have a great day, okay? See ya. I am well past my break time at this point in time. And, Anthony, don't ever bring it up again. I'm just kidding. In the Zone returns after this timeout.
This portion of In the Zone is brought to you by Kansas One Call. Call Kansas One Call at 811 before you dig.
Get in the zone, on KGSO.
Want to hear more of KGSO? Don't forget to download our app today. Fill out weekly surveys. Register to win great prizes. Listen live. Message our shows and so much more. Plus, get reminders of special programming and games you don't want to miss. Just find SC Wichita in your app store and make KGSO your new favorite app. It's Wichita's Sports Talk, right on your phone. Download the SC Wichita app today with Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Andel Ready Mix Central Incorporated has superior service, quality concrete, and cutting-edge equipment. Whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial jobs, large or small, they do it all. For your next concrete job, call today, 316-832-0063. Andel Ready Mix, this mud's for you. Andel Construction offers roller compacted concrete, cement soil stabilization, and dirt services. Andel Ready Mix and Andel Construction can help you with your next project. Call 316-832-0063 or go to Andel Ready Mix or AndelConstruction.com.
Andale Construction is also hiring now.
Imagine a tropical paradise where the sun always shines and the fun never ends. Welcome to Blast Off Bay, the ultimate indoor water park. Catch a wave on our state-of-the-art surf machine, unwind with a cold drink at the poolside bar, or relax in our warm, inviting hot tub. Then get ready for thrills on 11 exciting water slides that'll take your breath away. Hungry? Enjoy pizza, burgers, wings, and more. Open 365 days a year with a perfect climate every day. Don't wait. Plan your escape today to Blast Off Bay.
Go hog wild, pit barbecue. Hog wild, get some for you.
Asking my favorite Hog Wild menu item would be like asking who is your favorite child. It's impossible. While I love all of our award-winning barbecue options, I've got a real soft spot for the Carolina pulled pork sandwich. Hi, I'm Josh Wissing, Hog Wild partner and general manager at 47th and South Broadway. I love turning customers onto the Carolina pulled pork sandwich. We serve our tender, slow-smoked pulled pork on a soft bun and pile it high with tangy coleslaw. There's nothing else on the menu like it. The added bonus, you still get to have a side dish like curly fries or baked beans. When you're craving familiar, but in the mood for something new, Hog Wild's Carolina pulled pork sandwich is the answer.
Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 6 locations in Wichita, also in Derby, El Dorado, Hutchinson, and Salina.
Go hog wild, pit barbecue. Hog wild, get some for you. But don't be late, we close at 8.
Wichita's sports leader, KGSO, is brought to you by Devon Jaimes. Devon Jaimes Injury Lawyers. Call 888-8888.
That's 888-8888.
Want more sports talk? Don't forget to join us on all of our socials at KGSO Radio.
Welcome back. You are in the zone on this Wednesday, hump day of the work week, the 8th of July. Got a short segment here before James and I do the Diamond Highlight Zone from yesterday's Major League Baseball games. Phone lines are open at 316-522-1410. Carl over here asked Phil, when and where and what day will that All-Star game be played for the Kansas Jayhawks Summer Collegiate League? Saturday in Hutch, and I believe the game starts at 7 o'clock. I'll double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's right. It's a 7 o'clock first pitch, Saturday. It should be, last year's event was well run. And I would expect that any hiccups that took place a year ago will be corrected and should be a good time. Players enjoy playing in it, you know. They get to talk with guys from other teams or, you know, players they know on other teams and what have you. And I have to show up. And since I'm not in the top team and whatever group I'm in, I don't even know, with the visiting team, that's all I know. I got to wear gray pants. And I'll ask our players if they want to wear blue or black. But either way, it's a good time. And so we'll do that. And then starting Sunday, we have 8 games in 8 days. So I'll try to figure out how to make it work with 7 or 8 pitchers. I don't even know how many I've got right now. Frustrating, but looking for more. But that's your answer. And Anthony sent a couple of messages here as well. He wanted to talk about the play, and I talked about the play, and I'm done talking about the play. Oh, I want to say kudos to Randy B. and Jeff, who came out yesterday to watch us play at Hayesville. I appreciate the support. Thank you very much. I hope you had a good time while you were there. Unfortunately, we let a 6-0 and 7-2 leads evaporate in 1 inning, 6 runs, 7th. We didn't score in the last 4 innings. I don't know what happened. We had a couple times where we got guys on base, but we couldn't get hits. We left a lot of guys on base again yesterday, and it happens. That's all I can tell you. It's baseball. It happens. 522-1410 is the phone number at this point in time. Big 12 Media Day is going on. Our Garden City affiliate reporter, Andy Stats, is down there. Said he would text me if he had a player to come on the show. Haven't heard. I've heard from him, but he hasn't gotten back with me if he's got a player. I know they interviewed Deion Sanders yesterday. They asked him why he wasn't in EA Sports College Football 27. And he made the comment that it might be the money. They didn't want to give up enough money to use his name, image, and likeness. Let's go back to the phone lines. Welcome. You're in the zone.
Hey, good morning, Phil.
Good morning.
This is Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff.
From sorry I had to leave last night. It was getting a little hot, and those seats were atrocious.
Well, they're bleacher seats, and they are atrocious. You are correct.
Oh, you guys were 6-0 when Foley called it quits. I thought I'd go home, you know. I thought you guys had it in hand.
Well, we gave up a couple of runs in the 4th after we scored, or the 5th, whatever it was, and we were 6-2, and then it became 7-2, and then after that, it just kind of went away offensively, and we had a bad inning pitching where we gave up an 0-2 hit, made a bad pitch on 0-2, and then hit a guy, walked a guy, hit a guy, walked a guy, and made a pitching change, got a strikeout, and then made a bad pitch to a guy that hit a 3-run triple, and then they squeezed home the go-ahead run, and in the 6th, and nobody scored after that. That was it.
Well, you know, those guys made a couple pretty good plays out in the outfield last night.
Yeah, they did, and they also made some pretty good plays in the infield as well.
Yeah, and kind of robbed you guys of a couple of hits that you'd had in the game I'd seen earlier. You know, you guys were hitting the ball pretty good, but they were making some plays on them. They had some pretty good pitching, too, at the start. They looked like they had a guy out there who was pretty good.
Well, I mean,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's, you know, we we opened the door by not being able to throw strikes for 4 straight hitters. And, we scrambled out of a couple of jams early in the game, but this one we didn't escape.
Double play.
Yeah, this one we didn't escape.
Yeah. So you think that kind of seals your fate?
Well, it may. We're now 12-13. We have 7 league games left, and truthfully, we have to win them all to have a chance.
Randy and I were talking last night about your game, about your players. When the games get eliminated, teams get eliminated, are those players froze, or can players go to other teams?
Well, teams that make the NBC can pick up players from other teams.
That's what I thought. Maybe we were wondering.
So I don't know whether any of our guys are going to want to play with anybody, and nobody has contacted me about picking up anybody. But we don't know how many teams will get in. We know Hutch is in because they won last year. They won the tournament, and then our next whoever finishes at the top of the league is in, and then after that, if somebody has a berth they don't fulfill, usually they come to the Jayhawk League to fill that spot. So we should know that here coming up sometime next week.
Yeah, you guys got quite a few good hitters. Actually.
Yeah, we do. We lead the league in hitting. And the problem has been just between pitching injuries and defections. We just haven't had enough guys to be able to win some games we should have won. I'll just say that. We've had our opportunities, but we've blown them. So, anyway, I appreciate you coming to the game last night.
Well, I had a good time. Yeah, it's entertaining.
All right, sounds good.
Enjoy your show, you guys. We'll see you later.
Have a great day, Jeff. All right, take a break. Diamond Highlight Zone comes next.
This portion of In the Zone is brought to you by Kansas One Call. Call Kansas One Call at 811 before you dig.
Get in the zone, on KGSO.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
There's only one way of looking at LeBron James' tenure in Los Angeles. It was a dud. Can't call it a complete failure because he did win a championship. Mickey Mouse championship, the bubble, whatever you want to call it, it was a dud.
This is The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Evenings on KGSO, and find KGSO on the SC Wichita app.
Does the oil and natural gas industry make an impact at the county level? I'm Warren Martin, and this is Fueling Kansas with Kansas Strong. Oil and natural gas are produced in 93 of 105 counties in Kansas, but does it make an impact? The short answer is yes, and in some counties it makes a dynamic impact. 12 counties in Kansas receive more than 20% of their total revenue from the oil and natural gas industry. In 13 counties, more than 20% of the local non-ag-related jobs are provided by the industry. Take, for instance, Haskell County. If you look at the total dollar value of county property tax revenue received on a per capita basis, Haskell stood out with an average of $2,246 per resident. 8 other counties received more than $1,000 per resident. For every person living in the county, the industry provided more than $1,000 in county income. These are also the counties that are directly dependent on jobs, with all of them having more than 20% of the jobs dependent on the industry. This is Fueling Kansas. Find out more and get the facts at fuelingkansas.com.
Hey, Phil Stevenson here, and when I need to get in the zone to watch the big game, I head over to Dino's Grill and Tap Works at 21st and Webb Road in Cambridge Market. It's the place to watch all the big games, with TVs everywhere, a great selection of ice-cold beer on tap, and the best happy hour in town from 3 to 6 daily, and all day Mondays and Thursdays. That's half-price wells, martinis, and the perfect margaritas. And oh man, the food is awesome, with something for everyone, from great apps and salads to ribs and steaks to homemade pizza. Check out a game at Dino's at 21st and Webb.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Wichita's home for sports talk, going 20 years strong. This is KGSO.
The Cars, and you might think Rick Ocasek. I like that group. That's old school. That's all I'll say. You might think it's coming up next, and it is. It's the Daily Diamond Highlight Zone. James and I recap games from yesterday in the major leagues. And since I'm such a nice host, I let James go first. You're up.
All right, number 5, Rays over the Yankees 6-4. The Rays were down 3-2 heading into the bottom of the 4th. Richie Palacios had an RBI double. Hunter Fiducia, I think that's how you say it, 2-run home run. He was 1 for 2. Yandy Diaz had a solo home run. The Yanks then had a sac fly in the top of the 7th. Ian Seymour, 5 1/3, 12 Ks, 5 hits, 3 earned. He goes to 6-1. Will Warren, 4 innings, 3 Ks, 7 hits, 6 earned, 2 walks. He drops to 7-4. The second consecutive game in a row for the Yankees to strike out 17 times.
That's a first in Major League Baseball history.
Back-to-back?
To have back-to-back 17 strikeout games.
You stink.
Gosh. I thought you said you had the Braves first. But you
No,
said
the Rays.
the Rays.
The Rays, yeah.
Okay. That's good because that gives me the Braves game. Where former Royal Ryan O'Hearn went nutso. 3 home runs in the game. First inning, third inning, sixth inning. Grand slam in the first. 3-run homer in the third. 3-run homer in the sixth. 4 for 5, 10 RBIs in a 12-4 Pirates victory. This guy couldn't hit his way out of a wet paper bag in Kansas City. And he goes to the Orioles, does well, gets a free agent contract with the Pirates, and he's hitting .293 and doing very well. 16 home runs. And I don't even need to mention anybody else in this game. It was the Ryan O'Hearn show in Pittsburgh. 12-4 over the Braves.
Number 4, Twins over the Guardians 3-1. Rhys Hoskins had a solo home run in the top of the 2nd. There was also a sac fly. Brooks Lee had an RBI single in the bottom of the 2nd. Cody Clemens had an RBI triple. He was 2 for 4. Taj Bradley, 7 innings, 10 Ks, 3 earned runs. And the win Joey Cantillo, 5 innings, 7 Ks, 6 hits, 2 runs, no earned, and 3 walks. He drops to 7-4. Chase DeLauder had 2 of the 3 hits for the Guardians.
All right. Philadelphia defeated Cincinnati in Cincinnati 4-1. Zach Wheeler, the story there. 7 innings pitched, gave up 4 hits, 1 run, no walks, and struck out 14 in the game. And Cincinnati struck out 18 times in this game. Not much else other than that. Schwarber hit home run number 31 in the 3rd inning, 2-run shot. And pretty much the Zach Wheeler show. The other thing I learned about this is he's also scheduled to start Sunday in their game Sunday, and he's not eligible to be on the All-Star team because of that. Zach Wheeler.
Wow.
Yeah, he's 9-1. This guy should be on the All-Star team. I'm sorry. Phillies 4, Cincinnati 1.
Number 3, Brewers over the Cardinals 4-3, as it is the second game in a row that they did beat them 4-3. It was game 1 of the doubleheader. Mizorowski, 7 strong, 11 Ks, 3 hits, 3 earned though. Does get the win, goes to 10-4. 5 Cardinals pitchers combined for just 5 Ks, gave up 10 hits and the 3 walks. Jordan Walker had a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 1st. Joey Ortiz had an RBI double in the top of the 3rd. Christian Yelich had an RBI single. He was 3 for 5, had 2 RBIs. Ivan Herrera had a solo home run. And then Milwaukee, they ended up scoring 1 in the 6th and 1 in the 7th, and they held on over the last 3 innings. 4-3.
The Padres finally win a game. They beat the Diamondbacks 4-1. All the runs in this game scored in the 1st inning. 1 by Arizona, 4 by San Diego, thanks to a Jackson Merrill RBI hit and a 3-run home run from Cronenworth. That's it, 4-1. Nobody else scored after the 1st inning. You could have gone home and not missed anything if you were a fan. 5 Padre pitchers held the Diamondbacks to 5 hits. And Zach Gallen, boy, this guy's tough luck right now. 3-9 on the season. He goes 6 innings and takes a loss for the Diamondbacks. Padres 4, Diamondbacks 1.
Number 2, the Rockies victorious over the Dodgers last night.
Woo-hoo!
4-3. Ohtani, he did homer in the game. He's now the 18th active player to reach the 300. Rockies were down 3-1 going into the 8th inning. Tyler Freeman hit into a force out, and then there was a fielding error, which brought 1 across. And then, Phil, I actually couldn't find footage of this. The Dodgers did a very good job on scratching this, so nobody could see it. Jake McCarthy had a sacrifice bunt. Then there was a throwing error, which brought 2 more runs across the plate. It was not on the recap when I looked at it yesterday.
They hit it.
They hit it very well. But Cole Carrick was 2 for 4. Mickey Moniak was 2 for 4. Alex Freeland, he was 3 for 4 with an RBI. And Freddie Freeman was 2 for 5. The Dodgers had runners on 1st and 2nd in the 9th inning with 1 out and could not get one to come across the plate. So the Rockies win 4-3.
All right. Boston beat the White Sox 8-1. The Red Sox over the White Sox in the Battle of the Sox. We're running a little short on time, but pretty good pitching effort. Peyton Tolley gets to 5 and 6. 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 6 Ks for the Red Sox. And he gets the W. 8-1. Both Sox over the White Sox.
And my number 1 game, the Marlins over the Mariners, 6-5 in 10 innings. The Mariners were down 4-2 going into the 8th. Cal Raleigh then an RBI double. Josh Naylor, RBI single. He then later scored on a wild pitch. And in the bottom of the 8th, Heriberto Hernandez pinch hit solo home run to tie the game. And then bottom of the 10th, Jacob Marcy had an RBI single off the wall to secure the win.
All right, finally, the Royals outscore the Mets 16-12. Tyler Tolbert. Who you say? Tyler Tolbert. got 12 consecutive hits over 3 games to tie a major league record before he finally made it out in his last at bat yesterday. Royals scored 7 runs to take control of the game and hold on for a 16-12 victory. I'll talk more about this when we return for hour number 2. Stay with us.
This is The Herd.
You got to be consistent.
With Colin Cowherd.
Mike check. Walker Kessler, a legitimate defensive big. This is what I've been preaching now since the new Dodger owners came in. It's not about clinging to the past. It's about spending money and looking through the windshield, not the rear view mirror.
This is The Herd.
Weekdays at 11 a.m. right here on KGSO and on the SC Wichita app.
America is turning 250, and we're celebrating all month long at Midwest Kia. Join us for our Stars, Stripes, and Savings Sales event, where we're honoring America's 250th birthday with incredible savings throughout July. Celebrate extra savings on every new Kia that's built right here in America, including the award-winning Sportage, Sorento, Telluride, hybrid models, and the electrified EV6 and EV9 models. And no birthday party is complete without a present. This July, purchase any new or pre-owned vehicle and get a $250 gas gift card. It's our way of helping you enjoy the summer road ahead. Plus, every new Kia comes with that unbeatable 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. But hurry, this special Independence Day offer and the $250 gas gift card won't last forever. Visit MidwestKia.com. And remember,
We want to see ya in a Midwest Kia.
see dealer for details. Offer ends July 31st. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
The best barbecue deal in town is at Hog Wild. Right now, Hog Wild is serving up a $5.99 meal that's big on flavor and easy on your wallet. Get a 1-meat sandwich, your favorite classic side, and a drink, all for just $5.99. Want brisket? Upgrade to our tender slow smoked beef brisket for only $1.50 more. Pulled pork, juicy chicken, and hot links. Everything is smoked fresh, made daily, and piled high. This is real barbecue at a price that's hard to beat. When you want big flavor and a big deal, head to Hog Wild for the $5.99 meal deal today. Great food, great price, great barbecue. Join us for lunch or dinner, or order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 6 locations in Wichita, also in Derby, El Dorado, Hutchinson, and Salina.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. Hog Wild, get some for you. But don't be late, we close at 8.
Market information from the Mid-America Ag Network. I'm James Garrett. Moving there Wednesday over in the corn market. September corn down 6 cents at 437 3/4. Kansas City wheat for September down 2 cents at 650 3/4. In the bean market, August beans up 7 3/4 at 1201 1/2. Soybean meal for August down 480 at 311.40, and soybean oil for August up 202 at 70.61. In the cotton market, December cotton down 31 cents at 80.98. In the energies, crude oil for August up 5.13 at 75.55. Unleaded gas for August up 13 cents at 308. Heating oil for August up 29 cents at 359, and natural gas for August slightly up to 326. And over in the stocks, the Dow tumbles over 600 points as U.S. oil tops $75 with Trump saying attacks on Iran to continue. The Dow Jones is currently down 702 points. The S&P 500 is currently down 52 points, and the Nasdaq is down 139 points. Market information from the Mid-America Ag Network.
Big 12 Media Days are underway down in Frisco, Texas at the Star, kicking off yesterday. Both KU and K-State will be on stage today. Brett Yormark says Big 12 brand of football is exciting.
Our brand of football travels. It's fast, it's dynamic, and it's exciting.
You can hear today's press conferences on Sports Radio KGSO at 1410 AM, 93.9 FM. Another big night last night at the plate for the Royals as they scored 16 runs, beating the Mets 16-12. That's sports. I'm Doug Downs. Sports Report brought to you by Burwell Construction. Decks, pergolas, patio covers, roofing, siding, windows, guttering, and more. 316-794-3430. Or online at burwellconstruction.com.
This is Wichita's sports station, K230PY, 93.9 FM, 1410 AM, and 99.7 HD3. KGSO, Belle Plaine, Wichita. Broadcast Broadcasting live from the KGSO studios in West Wichita.
You just tap in and leave it on.
This is In the Zone on Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Get in the zone, get in the zone on KGSO.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of this Wednesday edition of In the Zone, the 8th of July. I'm Phil. That's James to my right. Good morning again, James.
Morning, Phil.
Okay. I wanted to recap a little bit more about the Royals game from yesterday. Ran out of time at the end of the Diamond Highlight Zone segment. Because that's a pretty big deal. Tyler Tolbert, who doesn't play very much, gets 2 hits in the last part of the game, his final 2 at-bats on Sunday. I was there. I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Monday, he goes 5 for 5. And then they travel to New York, where he gets 5 hits in his first 5 at-bats. And ties a major league record. It's been 94 years.
Since that last happened?
Since it last happened.
Wow.
94 years.
You weren't not around.
You're right. I wasn't around. Wait a minute. Let's see here. I got to think for a minute. That's 39 years. That would have been 1929. No. I can't
1930?
add. 1931 is when it would have happened last.
The dead ball era.
That somebody got 12 consecutive hits. By the way, raised his batting average to 396. He now leads the Royals in hitting. Every Royals starter got a hit in this game. Home runs by Tolbert, his second, and Lofton, his fourth. Lane Thomas drove in 4 runs. This guy's trying to get traded. He's all of a sudden awakened here in July. He's up to 232.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, you consider, just a week and a half ago, this guy was barely above the Mendoza line. And Salvador Perez got 2 hits. 3 hits for Lofton. 4 runs scored by Massey and Tolbert in this game. And the Mets, hey, they were no slouches swinging the bat. A.J. Ewing, 4 for 4, 3 RBIs and a home run. Soto hit a 3-run homer. But they could not keep pace with the Royals, who have now scored 31 runs in their last 2 games. Why can't you just average it out and score 6 or 8, each night instead of having it like this and then go back to scoring 1 run or no runs or 2 runs, which is they're going to do the rest of this road trip. But anyway, just 16-12. And the one thing that I can say is now this is a 3-game winning streak for the Royals. They are no longer at the bottom of the heap. Yeah. They've left that to the Angels and to the Giants and the Rockies, who also have 38 wins, but have more losses. No, the Rockies have more losses than the Giants don't. But the Giants have a college manager. That's going well for them. So, anyway, just wanted to bring that up for the Royals. I thought that was pretty impressive for Tyler Tolbert. 522-1410 's phone number if you want to jump in somewhere. Okay, I brought this up in the first segment, ask you a question. You brought up the rule that's been proposed to change in soccer, that if any part of an offensive player or an attacker, as you call them, but it could be any player on the field, has any part of his body behind the defender, they're not offsides. And you looked it up, and if this rule was in effect right now, what would have changed in the World Cup?
So it is being used in the Canadian League. They do use this rule it was the first time that they implemented it. It's kind of a trial. They say that in this World Cup alone, if they would have switched the offside rule, 17 more goals would have counted this World Cup.
And that's
a good amount.
That's a lot. That's
a good
lot.
amount. Yes.
I mean, I don't know how many games have actually been played so far in the World Cup, but that's a lot. So here's, and I understand because I'm a baseball traditionalist. There have been changes that have happened in baseball that I think some are good for the game, some aren't. But do you think this is a rule that might change, that could? Would it draw more fans? Would it draw more, I guess I would say, fans who are less knowledgeable of the game? Would it draw more fans in?
It would draw the American audience in. I think the rest of the world is okay with this.
Way this is?
I think
Okay.
that they're fine because it's their sport, right? It's their most popular sport. I don't think they complain about things nearly as much as the Americans do.
Right.
I think we do tend to have a place to complain a little bit more. But I'm not seeing too much more in this article other than saying, giving us a couple of examples of when this went against this new proposed ruling where a guy was offsides and then in VAR overturned it because he was in front of him by a couple of pixels.
Right.
Right. And
pixels.
And I
like that term.
Well, that's kind of what when the VAR shows up on the screen and they got that blue line, sometimes there's just one little tiny itty bitty pixel that's offside, and that'll be enough for them. I don't think that there's room for that in soccer. I do believe, and the main argument for this is in daylight, it's harder to be able to see with the naked eye. And I think that was kind of the initial response to this offside thing was during the daytime, it's a lot harder to be able to see who's offside and who isn't. And so then they went a little bit further with that and implemented, well, let's make it to where the whole body doesn't have to be offside. So
right.
I don't know, as a defender, if I was still playing, I would absolutely be against this because that gives me less of an advantage now to potentially get an offside trap. And I was talking briefly with Sasha about the Spain goal against Portugal, where the two defenders in the middle of the field, they both stepped up, but the two outside backs did not step up, so the back line is still at the same spot.
Right.
Now there's just a little pocket of space where they found it. Now the offside trap is only effective if all four guys are on the same page and they all do it at the same exact time. And to get that timing down is very difficult in its own right. So now you're going to have defensive lines trying to do the same thing, and now they're going to realize, oh, well, if their foot's in front of me, that's still on. So that'll be very, very frustrating for defenders to try and get used to. I don't know how they're going to implement something that makes both sides happy, the offense and the defense.
Okay, let me ask you this. As a defender, if you see a guy, if you have your marking, as I'm using the terms properly, marking your offensive attacker, and you see a ball getting ready to be kicked towards these offensive player, before he kicks it, you want to step towards the ball or to make the guy become offside.
It depends on situation. It depends on the situation. Because there's so many different variables to each attack that no attack is ever the same. So what I would do is I was very good at spacing myself, being able to be in the right place at the right time because I didn't have over the top speed. So I would prioritize myself in positioning. And if you position yourself right, you won't get beat very often. And that's just from learning from guys on the big stage who are also not the fastest. And, you have to watch how they play and how they let the game come to them. And so translating that and positioning, I think, is an overlooked, and it's not a stat, right? There's no stats to tell you, oh, this guy has good positioning. It's just an eye test at that point. But being able to position yourself to not allow a potential goal scoring chance is the best thing that you can do as a defender. So, and if that's stepping up right before the ball gets kicked or whatever the case may be, then you have to be able to know on a fly what exactly that you have to do to be able to adjust to the play that's about to happen.
Okay.
You can't think in soccer. You just got to do. Because when you think, that's when you make mistakes.
Sure.
And that's why we see so many mistakes and penalties, because these guys are just thinking. You can't think in high pressure
I think
situations.
any sport that's continuous action, it is reaction. If like I said, you're trying to think too much, then all of a sudden you're
out of place. Yeah,
you get caught up in the wrong place. Baseball's different because you have this time in between pitches.
You are reacting, but it's also an anticipation. You can't anticipate what is going to happen in soccer. So I will agree with you on that.
Yeah, there's more time to think, and it's still a reactionary sport. You react as a hitter to the pitch. You react as a fielder to the ball being put into play, those type things. But there's time to think to try to anticipate where or what might happen, and time to think between what if the ball's hit to me, what am I going to do, those type things.
Well, that's what you're supposed to run into your head, right? Isn't that what they teach you? Like, before the ball gets pitched, you think to yourself, all right, ball comes to me, I'm going to second, or I'm going to first.
That's what I'm saying. You have time to do that. And even in football, you have the 40-second clock between plays, and if teams huddling and figure it up, and you got your defensive call, you have time to think when the offense lines up, what is my responsibility to do? And sports that are continuous motion, more like, I guess, basketball, hockey, soccer would be one of those, where you have less time to think, and it's about anticipating and reacting to the stimulus that's in front of you. I do want to bring this up real quick. The U.S. men's national team set a record on Monday night. It drew an average of over 30 million viewers, along with Telemundo reporting 12 million viewers on its network, making the most watched U.S. men's national team game in U.S. Spanish language TV history. Not finalized yet by Nielsen, but combined possibility of 40-plus million viewers will eclipse any single U.S. sports broadcast this decade other than the NFL. That's pretty impressive when you think about it.
This is why soccer is the world sport.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, the World Cup only comes once every 4 years. And it is on North American soil. That's the other factor with it. And it has probably intrigued a lot of people like me to tune in once in a while when you have a chance, just to kind of see what's going on. And this has become of interest to me. So congratulations, James. You've at least caught my interest.
Well, I'm not going to be mad at you if you decide to go in the shadows until 2030. Like, I'm not going to blame you. I mean, 75% of our fan base is going to be hiding until then, too.
If I'm still doing this show in 2030, I got problems. I got money issues at that point in time. So, but you know, I think the fact that it's been on North American soil is what has really brought a lot of people into it, and you know,
the winning helped. The winning absolutely helped.
Well, yeah, and I think people were probably greatly disappointed Monday night on the result. But it probably created a lot more fans now to follow where our guys go to play here in the next couple or 3 years before the next World Cup. And do our guys with the U.S. men's national team, do they play in enough, I guess, in some of the tougher leagues around the world? Do they get opportunities to play there? Because I think that's what we see. These teams that are advancing have more players playing in the highly competitive leagues across the world. Do we have enough guys playing in those leagues?
No.
Okay.
And that's probably part of the problem. All three of our goalkeepers play in the MLS. That's not something to be proud of.
Okay. Now, is that the outdoor league here in America?
That's the professional league in America.
Okay.
Yeah, the MLS, what Messi plays in.
Right.
But yeah, all three of our keepers are from that league, and we all know that. Well, ones that know soccer, we know that the MLS is viewed as, well, it's not as competitive. It's a league, but they use a salary cap in the MLS. I believe that's one of the only few soccer leagues that actually implement a salary cap. Because out in Europe, whatever money you have, you can spend.
Okay.
There's no limit. But here in the MLS, that they do that to, I guess, align with the other American leagues, which, okay, I can kind of get that. But there's a drop-off in the MLS because of it. So it's kind of a pick and choose. But when Tim Howard, when he was our goalie, he played for Everton in the Premier League.
Right.
Very respectable league, the most competitive league in the world. And I know Everton was never one of the better teams, but they were middle of the pack team, and he played for them. And that's what gave us the confidence that we were going to do well even back then, is because we had guys that were playing in these competitive leagues. And now I think it has gone down a little bit. I know Pulisic still plays in Europe somewhere, but majority of these guys they play in the MLS. So I think we do need to start seeing some of our own guys start playing overseas. And, yeah, that'll take away from the viewership. We won't get to watch them as often or whatever the case may be. But for the World Cup, they'll be more ready.
Right.
And so I think if we could start getting more Americans outside of the MLS and start playing with these better teams and these better competitions, then we'll see our skill level go up as well. But until then, until we have most of our guys in the MLS, it's going to be right around. This was the peak, right? This is the peak of what MLS soccer players can do. And if this is the case, if we just end up going to the round of 16 every 4 years, I mean, that should still be something to be proud of, because soccer is not even our third sport that Americans care about. So I mean, if we're finishing in the round of 16 with soccer still coming in fourth place in terms of popularity in our country, then I think that can be a win. But that's why we won't be able to compete with these other countries, is because they don't have football, and some have basketball, but most of those guys would rather play soccer than basketball.
Okay.
So, and the guys that do play basketball, well, they're probably too tall to play soccer anyway.
Well, there are some pretty big guys playing soccer. Okay, what are the rules from what country you're allowed to play for? Do you have to be a naturalized citizen?
You have to be born there, or your parents have to be born there.
Okay. So if a if an individual maybe lives in another country, but his parents were born here, he could play for the U.S. team. Is that correct? Even though he may be living in another country, parents were born here, but they.
So it says here, you have to be born there, have a biological parent or a grandparent. You can have a grandparent as well, be from the same.
So it can go back 100 years.
Yes. Or you have lived continuously in said country for 5 years. So if you grew up in a country and you lived there for 5 years, you can technically use that as a choice.
Okay. Maybe that explains why some of the names that I see for certain countries don't match up with some of that. Okay. Final part. No games today, by the way, in the World Cup. And the bracket now, we are to the final 8 that are left. You pick Spain, so your team's still alive. They have Belgium. That game is coming up on Friday. France and Morocco play tomorrow. And then there's 2 games on the 11th, Norway and England, Argentina and Switzerland. How's your team match up against Belgium?
I think Belgium used up all their emotion against USA. I really, truly believe that. I think that they got a little bit ahead of themselves because there was some hype coming out of the USA. And so, they handled us pretty well. But the part that, kind of worries me is that Belgium looked as good as they did, and they weren't even at full strength. And I know Spain is leaps and bounds better than the United States. So I don't expect Spain to run into the same issues that the U.S. was running into, and that's, not being able to really produce any offense. Spain's defense is out of this world. I mentioned it yesterday that it's hard for me to wrap my head around that this defense in this World Cup is better than the defense that they had when they won the World Cup back in 2010. When I can list 5, 6, 7, 8 guys on that team that are legends in their own right. And I know time changes, new eras come around, but Spain is still able to have that same mindset, that same core of tactics that they've always used. And they're impenetrable right now, Phil. Nobody can score on them. Nobody can get a good look on them. And that's coaching. That's pretty much all that is. And obviously the players that they have back there are good in their own right. So you mix the combination and it becomes damn near impossible to score on them, as they have been showing so far in this tournament. I don't expect Belgium to score.
Okay.
I really don't. And if they do, it'll be some mess in the box and someone gets their toe on it, and then they'll, get a lucky goal in. But I don't see them working passes together, crossing into the box, because the way that Spain, the way that their shape is on defense, they don't break. They work so well together. And, when you have 4 guys that are on the same page, good luck. That's all I'm going to say is good luck.
Right. Okay. One final game in Kansas City will be Saturday night, 8 o'clock between Argentina and Switzerland. And, of course, all the games have been very well attended. You need $1,500 to get into a ticket for that game.
Well, we're in the quarterfinals now. So.
Yeah, I know, but where in the heck are all these people getting all this money? Been saving it for 4 years, maybe? I guess. I don't know. But if you want to go to Norway and England, in Miami Gardens in Florida, you got to have $1,800 for that. Huh. That's crazy. That's all I'll say. That's crazy. Friday's game between Spain and Belgium, it's $1,100 at SoFi in Inglewood. And tomorrow's game at Foxborough, Mass., you got to have $1,050 to get a ticket for that one. You see anything different?
No.
Oh, okay. It's a lot of money to throw out for that. By the way, I drove by the women's stadium in Kansas City, the Current. When's their World Cup? Is it 2 years away? Is that how they do it?
They do it in the opposite 2 years.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. But theirs is every 4 years as well. It's just 2 years away now for that. Okay. Man, am I educating you guys out there about soccer.
And here's the funny thing about this Morocco team. 19 players on this team, they weren't born in Morocco. But their parents or grandparents were.
Right.
So
but that's a small country.
And France, they have 73 players in this World Cup that weren't even on France. They represented somebody else.
Wow.
That's how deep France is.
All right. Take a break. Andy Stats is going to join me next from down in the Big 12 Media Days. So we'll talk to him next here on In the Zone.
This portion of In the Zone is brought to you by Kansas One Call. Call Kansas One Call at 811 before you dig.
Get in the zone, get in the zone on KGSO.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
And it is Jason Tatum and friends. What kind of pressure's on him right now in B-Town?
I think just the normal pressures that he's always had. Even when he didn't win the Finals MVP, if you want to just be honest, go look at the numbers. Who led in every statistical category? It was Jason Tatum.
This is The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Evenings on KGSO. And find KGSO on the SC Wichita app.
Are you looking for a better healthcare experience this summer? Kingman Healthcare Center is a full-service hospital with a 24/7 emergency room with little to no wait times. Our clinics offer same-day appointments and convenient scheduling for your annual checkups. Don't wait. Make your health a top priority and schedule your appointment today. You won't regret the short drive without the big city traffic. Exceptional care every time. To learn more, visit our website, kingmanhc.com.
America is turning 250 years old, and at AutoSmart, we're celebrating the right way. For a limited time, we're giving 12% off all parts and labor because keeping your vehicle running strong is part of the American way. And that's not all. Stop by AutoSmart and pick up your free American flag, our way of saying thank you for being part of this great country. At AutoSmart, we believe in honesty, hard work, and taking care of our neighbors. Come see us today and celebrate 250 years of freedom with a team you can trust. AutoSmart. Proud to serve our community.
Fox Sports. Fox Kansas is Wichita's home for exciting live sports action. The road to the FIFA World Cup quarterfinals begins this week as round of 16 action continues Monday and Tuesday, where every match is win or go home. Then the FIFA World Cup quarterfinals excitement starts on Thursday, continues Friday, and builds to Saturday for 3 days of must-see soccer. And on Sunday, catch the pickleball mid-season tournament finals from Grand Rapids at 2. Fox Sports. Fox Kansas. Channel 24, Cox Cable Channel 4.
It's time for you to crave a taco with a touch of tradition. Taco Pronto is family owned and has been operating for nearly 55 years. Taco Pronto makes all their food in-house from scratch using the freshest ingredients at prices that you can't beat. So come on in and take advantage today at Taco Pronto's daily specials to spice up your lunch, or grab a 12-pack of corn tacos for $11.99 for a quick dinner. Taco Pronto, 8385 West 21st Street North, and taste the difference for yourself and order online at TacoProntoWichita.com.
Looking for a new-to-you ride? For over 70 years, customers have trusted Rustiak Ford with quality vehicles and exceptional service. We have 500 used cars available with 150 Ford Blue Advantage certified. From fuel-efficient cars to tough trucks and versatile SUVs, you'll find quality, value, and selection all in one place. That's peace of mind with every mile. Buy with confidence at Rustiak Ford. Visit rustiakford.com. Family owned and simply the best place to buy. See dealer for details.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Wichita's sports leader, KGSO, is brought to you by Devon Jaimes. Devon Jaimes Injury Lawyers. Call 888-8888.
That's 888-8888.
Keep KGSO with you all day by downloading our app. It's Wichita's sports station all in one location. Just download the SC Wichita app today.
Welcome back to In the Zone. Little Van Halen in Panama. It's bringing us back music-wise. And now, if technology works, joining me now from the Big 12 Media Day. Oh, actually, we're going to call it the Monster Energy Big 12 Football Media Day, is our reporter down there, Andy Stats. Andy, are you there?
Earth to Phil, can you hear me?
I got you, brother. What's up?
Not a whole lot. This stadium, this just overall area here in Frisco, Texas, is just absolutely bursting at the seams with excitement, with anticipation, and I mean, there's stuff happening all over. TCU head coach Sonny Dykes just wrapped up an interview just to my right. We have both the Kansas and the Kansas State coaches and players in the building. I could go on and on, Phil. It's super exciting to be down here.
Well, you arrived down there yesterday as this goes on here, I guess, for 2 days, today and tomorrow. And, I guess it was yesterday today. I'm trying to get my days straight here. This is what happens when you coach baseball and you play every day. You get confused on the days. What's been maybe the biggest thing you've seen or people have talked about thus far?
So I would say the biggest storyline so far, and the one that's getting the most attention online, was something I've talked about with Doug and Chuck earlier this morning on the morning show, was the entirety of the Brennan Sorsby situation, how it's being dealt with here. Commissioner Brett Yormark had some remarks yesterday to open up the Big 12 Media Days. A couple reporters asked him questions about it, and, well, he basically said, we're not going to talk about that here. There's ongoing legal issues and stuff pending, but I would say that's what's capturing a lot of the attention here. And, of course, there was a lot of questions for Texas Tech. They're coming off last season being conference champions. They have a lot of attention because not only of the Sorsby thing, but because their head coach, Joey McGuire, is trying to run back the same success that they had down in Lubbock last year. It's a lot of different storylines going, but I think that's the one that stands above the rest for the entirety of the conference.
Okay. I saw a little tidbit yesterday with Deion Sanders. And obviously, he's superstar in the game of football. But he's coming off a 3-9 season, if I'm not mistaken, and they've got some work to do. And he's also a guy that's recovering from cancer, and being back. And, I got to believe that, I think it's good for the Big 12 for Colorado to, make a resurgence there because of his marketability.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. There's a reason Coach Prime has recaptured what that former glory of the Colorado football program was. Now, granted, the on-field success since he got to town hasn't quite been there the same last couple years as it did the first two when he was there, when he had a couple of his kids playing. He had future Heisman winner Travis Hunter on the team. It's important you bring up his health, though. He mentioned that he's doing a lot better. He said, and I quote, "I think I got my swagger back," which in the most Coach Prime thing I think I've ever heard. But the big thing surrounding that, they're coming off a 3-win, 9-loss season. And unfortunately, the luster of Coach Prime is probably wearing off a little bit in Boulder. And I think a lot of fans, as great as it is to have all those celebrities down on the field side and the national attention that they're getting, they need to start seeing that production that they saw at the start of his tenure. And with him fully healthy this year, he's not only expecting but promising big results coming out of that team. But remains to be seen. A lot of projections still have the Buffaloes near the bottom third of the Big 12 in the projections for the standings this year.
You said Kansas and Kansas State are still to come today. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah, we actually had a live interview with the Kansas State defensive back Wesley Fair, who's a Wichita guy. He played at Wichita Collegiate once upon a time. We had him live on the air earlier. We're going to try and get live one-on-one interviews with both Kansas State head coach Colin Klein and Kansas head coach Lance Leipold, as well as whoever else we can pull in, including Kansas State quarterback Avery Johnson. Both coaches are going to take the podium in the noon hour. Kansas State will be 12:20. Kansas will be 12:40. But all the players, coaches, and everybody else that we maybe want to pull in for an interview is going to be out and about all day today.
Okay. What's been outside of the Texas Tech with Brendan Sorsby, and they're trying to get away from that, and what have you? I guess you would say, a lot of people have been talking about BYU. Have you talked to BYU? I mean, have they come and gone already, or are they upcoming here today?
BYU was on day one. A lot of the staffers are still here, and I actually had a chance to speak with them not too long ago, and clearly they're excited about the team. You always have to be excited about the team when you work for them, but this is a BYU team that is running back most of the team, and especially their head coach Kalani Sitake, who turned down a lot of money instead of flipping to Penn State. He stayed home at Brigham Young University to try and build something there in Provo. And Texas Tech is the clear favorite to go ahead and repeat as Big 12 champions this year, even without Brendan Sorsby. But if there is a dark horse candidate, if you even want to call BYU a dark horse, because they have some contenders, Phil. I don't think I have to be the one to tell you that. You're the one that brought them up in the first place. But there's noise being made out of Provo for the first time in a long time. And it's not just here and there, a little bit of tidbits, but we're talking back in the day of the glory days of this Cougar program. And for the first time, when you bring up their name, there's actually some fear that strikes into the eyes of all these other programs in attendance.
Very interesting. Visiting with Andy Statz, who is I'm going to plead ignorance. I don't know exactly your title of what you do in Garden City, and but you've been obviously thought of well enough to come and report for us down at the Big 12 Media Days, so that says a lot about it. But kind of tell us a little bit about what you do out in Garden City.
Well, if you insist, Phil,
I insist.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm the radio host out in Garden City. I think the only one out there as of now, so they keep me busy, but it's exactly what I want to be doing. 7 to 9 a.m., I host Mid-America in the Morning on our station KIUL out there in western Kansas, where we cover news, sports, agriculture, everything that goes on in our little pocket of sunshine in the western part of the Sunflower State. I do a midday show on our country station, The Bull, which Lord knows what we get into in that. That's the whole appeal of it, though. That's where we have the most fun. Coming up soon, we're going to be doing a sports-only show on the evening ride home out there as well, covering local stuff, covering Kansas stuff, covering national stuff, kind of like what you guys do on the show and all day here on KGSO. I'm looking forward to doing my best Phil Stevenson impression out there.
Well, I spent 16 years as the baseball coach at Dodge City Community College, so I'm fairly familiar with western Kansas and all that. But, I got to tell you, brown is not one of my favorite colors.
I never realized, never even conceptualized how deep that Garden City-Dodge City rivalry runs. It never once occurred to me that could be a big thing. And ever since I got out there, it's almost like they don't even want to say the other city's name.
Right. No,
I'm impressed.
You don't. And it is something that both cities get behind in trying to defend different crowns in whatever sport it might be, and even I think the cities themselves with that part of it. So, all right. So what are you anticipating today? Any controversy? Anything that might come forward from anybody or anything out there?
When it comes to the Kansas programs, obviously that's what I'm down here to focus on. And I think the big question, there's one big question for both teams. One for the Jayhawks. Who's going to be starting at quarterback? Is it going to be Cole Ballard? Is it going to be Isaiah Marshall? You can go two different ways with that one. Cole Ballard's more of the stereotypical pocket passer. He's probably got a little bit of a bigger arm than Marshall. Marshall's the one with the higher ceiling, though. He plays a little bit more like the departing Jalen Daniels, who was Kansas's quarterback the past couple years. The dual threat guy that can throw as good as he can run. We're going to try to ask head coach Lance Leipold about that, maybe ask some of the guys that'll be on the offensive unit with one of those guys. For K-State, well, it's one of the 4 new head coaches in the conference is head coach Colin Klein. He's not new to Manhattan by any means. He was a Heisman finalist once upon a time there in Manhattan. But it's going to be, he's got himself new. He's got a new coordinator on both sides of the ball. What is K-State football going to look like? They keep preaching that this is a new old school approach to this new iteration of the Wildcat program. Does that mean we're going to get the violence and take-it-to-you defenses of the 90s and 2000s of the Wildcats under Bill Snyder? Does that mean we're going to see something else entirely out of this offensive unit headed by longtime quarterback Avery Johnson? All those questions and more, because that's the thing. There's breaking news all the time here at Media Days. I'm sure I could come back in 15 minutes and tell you something else that I've learned in that time.
Sure. No question about that. Both teams have pretty challenging schedules as I look at them here in front of me. And I think that's going to be the biggest part. If they're going to have a chance to contend for a Big 12 championship, these schedules are pretty daunting, especially the road games for both teams.
Both teams could be said that they have a gauntlet to go against. And if you look at the Jayhawks, first and foremost, the 3rd game of their season, they do get to play Arizona State. That's going to be a big-time game. They get to play them in Wembley Stadium in London. They're playing a different type of football in London. So one of my questions to head coach Lance Leipold whenever I get a hold of him is this is going to be it's a pretty big point for the Kansas football program. Leipold took over right after the absolute basement-dwelling years that this Jayhawk program has gone through in the Big 12, where they went winless, I think, a season or two. And he turned them around. They made a bowl game. The next year, they made a bowl game and won it. 2 5-7 seasons have fans wondering what's the direction of this program. So with all of that being said, you have to throw in this gauntlet of a schedule. You have to throw in this travel overseas at a key point of the season after coming off a game where you're already playing, well, LIU, that's a game at home to hopefully get them a tune-up. But you have to play cross-conference rival Missouri. You got to play an SEC team in the Tigers before you even head overseas.
Right.
That's going to be a really key point that's going to dictate if this is going to be back to relevancy for the Jayhawks or back to the basement where a lot of folks in the Big 12 think that they're going to be this year. I disagree, but that is the hullabaloo of what I'm hearing down here.
All right. Well, it sounds interesting. We'll have to get you on tomorrow after you've had a chance to visit with both coaches and players from KU and K-State. In the meantime, enjoy your time down there, and we'll get hooked up tomorrow to get a report as well, okay?
Sir, yes, sir, Phil. I will not let you down. Having a lot of fun here. Let's make stuff happen.
All right. I also want a food report tomorrow as well, okay, Andy?
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to be 20 pounds heavier the next time you see me.
Sounds good. Enjoy your time. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Phil.
All right. See you. There goes Andy Statz, our Garden City reporter with Big 12 Media Days. James and I return to wrap it up after this timeout.
This portion of In the Zone is brought to you by Kansas One Call. Call Kansas One Call at 811 before you dig.
Get in the zone, on KGSO.
This is Stu Gatz and Company live.
The audience wants this.
You're listening to Stu Gatz and Company live.
Izzy, I am so confused. The United States appears to finally be good at soccer, and I have no idea what the Celtics were thinking by trading Jaylen Brown to a team they just lost to and making the Sixers a better team than the Boston Celtics. So confused.
Stu Gatz and Company live.
Weekdays at 2 p.m. on KGSO and on the SC Wichita app.
Looking for a new-to-you ride? For over 70 years, customers have trusted Rusty Egg Ford with quality vehicles and exceptional service. We have 500 used cars available with 150 Ford Blue Advantage certified. From fuel-efficient cars to tough trucks and versatile SUVs, you'll find quality, value, and selection all in one place. That's peace of mind with every mile. Buy with confidence at Rusty Egg Ford. Visit rustyeggford.com. Family owned and simply the best place to buy. See dealer for details.
Fire sale at the Black Friday Deals and Discount store on 47th and Broadway. Truckloads of brand new items from Amazon, Walmart, and Target. But for just $10, nearly everything in the store is on sale for just $10 Friday and $7 on Saturday. Electronics like controllers, laptops, headphones, just $10. Name brand clothing and shoes, Stanley Cups, accessories, all kinds of household items, just $10. Come check out the brand new Ashley furniture for discount price. 120 days, same as cash, $5 down. So don't break your budget and shop today at the Black Black Friday deals and discount store.
America is turning 250 years old, and at AutoSmart, we're celebrating the right way. For a limited time, we're giving 12% off all parts and labor because keeping your vehicle running strong is part of the American way. And that's not all. Stop by AutoSmart and pick up your free American flag, our way of saying thank you for being part of this great country. At AutoSmart, we believe in honesty, hard work, and taking care of our neighbors. Come see us today and celebrate 250 years of freedom with a team you can trust. AutoSmart. Proud to serve our community.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a social media manager.
Did you just post our Q4 earnings to your personal social media?
Oh yeah, used a trending audio and everything.
That's confidential financial data.
Relax. It only went a little viral.
The SEC just commented with the eyeball watching emoji.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Remember, today you listen to In the Zone on Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Daddy wanted radio. He tuned it to a country show. I was rocking in the cradle to the crying of a steel guitar. Mama used to sing to me. She taught me that sweet harmony. Now she worries 'cause she never thought I'd ever really take it this far. Singing in the bars and chasing that neon rainbow, living that honky-tonk dream.
Little Alan Jackson brings us back here on In the Zone. James is back in with us. I want to thank Andy Stats for joining me in the last segment, talking a little Big 12 Media Day going on down there. KU and K-State today, so I'm sure we have a lot of information to provide to us, maybe even later today in the press box, and of course for us tomorrow in the game plan as well. In the meantime, phone lines are open at 316-522-1410. That's the phone number. James, what the heck are you going to do? There's no World Cup game today.
It'll be my day to relax.
I have to go to Kansas City today.
You have to?
Yeah. Well, I've been asked to.
Ah.
How about that? So I'm going to travel with my brother and his wife up to Kansas City to a ribbon cutting ceremony to open up part of another segment of the College Baseball Hall of Fame at the museum up there. And it's in Overland Park today. So I'm going to go up there and try to look good as best I can. It's hard to, they say it's really, no matter how much you polish a turd, it's still a turd. And there's a lot of polishing that has to go on with me to get me to look good. That's the one thing I will tell you. But I'll do my best to clean up and look decent and smile for pictures and then take a 2.5-hour trip back from Kansas City. So that'll be my day today. But I'm kind of looking forward to it because I am a member of the College Baseball Hall of Fame and proud to be one at this point in time. So that's my day today. Not much of an off day, I guess you would say. So maybe go to dinner, James, tonight, possibly. Maybe are you just going to get home and just chill?
Probably just go home and chill. There's baseball on. Probably watch a couple of games.
Okay. All right. You do speak of baseball. Your A's didn't fare very well yesterday. They lost again.
They haven't been. No, it's been a bad streak.
I feel bad for you. Because you got to remember, that's the team that I was drafted by.
Yeah.
And played in the organization for a while. So let's go check in on the Maximum Outdoor Equipment Hotline. Welcome. You're in the zone.
What you going to do, brothers, when the All-Star break takes away your diamond highlight zone for a few days next week?
Well, I think is it 4 days?
It'll just be Monday and Tuesday, I think.
No, they don't play on Wednesday. So we'll have a Monday show because there's Sunday games. And then we could do an All-Star preview on Tuesday. Recap the All-Star game on Wednesday.
You know what we should do, Phil? We should make our own All-Star teams.
Ooh, now that's a good idea. Not that I have a whole lot of time to sit down and do it with 8 games coming up in a row starting Sunday. But I could try. I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. What do you think about that, Dave?
Well, I was thinking I'd call you men up with some all-star questions, all-star history questions. Take you out of the now and into the what's already happened.
Okay.
Of course, Monday you're still good, but then and if we get a rainout or something on All-Star night, then it's just a disaster.
Nah, that won't happen.
And James can fill his World Cup drought with YouTube All-Star games of the past because he doesn't know where I'm going with these things. But that's what I had in mind for Diamond, maybe the Diamond Zone, fill-in zone.
Okay. Well, you're welcome to call in and throw some information at us or questions or what have you. But I would guess Monday we're good. Tuesday we'll go through the All-Star game. Wednesday we can recap the game. Thursday, I don't know what the heck we'll do. That's where you come in, Dave. Well, on Thursdays. But you're welcome to call at any time and pose questions to us if you would like.
Great. Well, I just thought you'd be looking at that 9:30 in the zone time zone and thinking, oh, now what? There's, you can't count on an NBA free agent to sign or something.
No, one of the things I think I'm going to try to do on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is try to call around and get a few of the people that I know different places and see if I can't get them on the show. With people that work for different organizations and try to get them on the show and talk to, see what they have to say about their teams and stuff that's going on with them.
And also, they've decided to put the draft in where the All-Star game break falls. So
yeah, isn't that on Monday?
I'm not sure when it is.
I want to say the draft is on. I think the draft's on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. So.
Well,
it starts on Monday anyway.
Yeah, I think they're chopping it up for some reason.
Well, it's 20 rounds. They got to break it up a little bit. So that'll have something to do with it. So, but anyway, we'll see exactly when it starts and what goes on with it, and get that rolling as well.
Phil, thanks for going up to Kansas City and getting Lane Thomas straightened out, and Taryn Tolbert, apparently you had a word with him also, just to keep his chin up or something like that to prompt that 12 for 12 streak.
It's kind of one of those things. Sometimes it's amazing what happens when a guy who hadn't been getting an opportunity gets an opportunity. So, maybe he'll figure out a way to keep some things going.
And if we can offer Matt Quatrero a tip, keep Taryn Tolbert in the lineup till he cools off.
Yeah, maybe so. We'll see. Well, they got so many injuries. Hopefully he's smart enough to do that. We never know, Dave.
Right. Well, I'll get back to my All-Star question laboratory and let James have the final thought.
Okay. Sounds good, Dave.
All right.
Have a great day.
Jim.
See ya. All right, there goes Dave.
We got football next month, Phil.
Next month?
Yeah.
I know. Camp's open. Preseason games start. College is right now about 7 weeks away, 8 weeks away from getting started. Amazing. But looking forward to it. We'll have to we'll spend some time talking about teams and opportunities and things for that. I was looking through just kind of running through Oklahoma's schedule the other day. I don't know. I think they're going to have a tough time repeating 10-2 and getting in the college football playoff. They got a pretty tough schedule again to go forward with that. All right. The Athletics are at the Tigers tonight. Can they break this streak that they're on? You think?
Who?
The Athletics. You know?
I think they're in the midst of that cold slump right now. They do it every year.
They've lost 4 in a row, and they're 2-8 in their last 10.
Yeah, they have not been a very fun team to watch.
No,
lately.
probably not. All right. Final thoughts, James.
Well, we're going to go with a team that can't stop anyone from scoring and another team that can only score. Astros Nationals over 9.5 runs today.
Okay.
Book it.
That's a lot of runs, and they both have been putting up a lot of runs. All right, the Herd's next, followed by Stu Got the 2 in the press box at 4 o'clock. For James, I'm Phil. Thanks for listening. Have a great day, Wichita. See ya.
Want to hear more of KGSO? Don't forget to download our app today. Fill out weekly surveys. Register to win great prizes. Listen